think that the Black Americans have been the only real diehard Americans here, because we're the only ones who carried the process through the process. That everyone else has to sort of like skip stages. We're the ones who marched. We're the ones who carried the Bible. We're the ones who carried the flag. We're the ones who tried to go through the courts. And being born American didn't seem to matter, because we were born Americans, but we still had to fight for what we were looking for, and we still had to go through those channels and those
I don't really care what you have to say. Facts over fiction is the motto replay. Muhammad Ali came up from the clay. Grassroots built up this USA. Now knowing your history, you'll get played. Equip yourself cause you came to slay any opponent that's up in our way. Look at Malcolm X and his delivery. All right, family, I just wanted to give, a moment of silence for our good brother, Malcolm Jamal Warner. May he rest in power, may he rest in peace. He passed away, from what I understand, was from a drowning out in Costa Rica. So let's give prayers out to him and his family, man. May he rest in the power. But we have a wonderful guest with us today. We're going to have a wonderful, candid conversation with an honorary contributor to In the Mass Media Group. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get him on stage and the camera. How you doing, sir?
What's up? What's going on, bro? What's up, man? Yo, we were talking before we came on. It's been like 3 years. 3 years. 3 years, man, since I've been on. How could I be 3 years away from my home? ETM Media is my home platform. We will not do another 3 years not doing this. All right. So what's up, family? Blessings, good evening, happy Thursday, all that good stuff. What's up, man? What's going on?
What's up, bro? Let me just let the family know my camera's been acting real janky.
Okay.
So if for some reason, family out there in the chat, and we're streaming on Twitter and YouTube, if my screen goes off, just let you know my microphone's going to work, but I might just be in the pause moment. So I just want to give you a heads up, family.
We got you. We got you, fam. No worries. We got you.
Appreciate it. But I'll be here. So I just want to make sure the audio's working. All right. Yeah, the audio is working, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We are good. Well, we're here, family, to have this conversation, right? This reparations conversation, brother.
So much going on. So much happening. I'm looking forward to this, brother.
Definitely. Well, before we start, man, we're going to do some housekeeping real quick. Go to Reparations or ETM Media Group store. That's etmmediagroupstore.com. And by the way, we do have CJEC merch up there as well. So go. I think we have one shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
At least one shirt is better than no shirt.
Get it. Support the movement.
Exactly. One shirt's better than no shirt. So that we are the official CJEC merch store. So go check that out there. We have obviously ETM Media Group stuff, Reparations Now, Policy Over Party, etc., etc. All right. Check out reparationsnowdoc.com or go to Tubi. And we do actually, have a wonderful guest here who is featured in this film. So he's all over it, just like many of us advocates. And by the way, man, you know we got to get you on reparations too, right?
Oh yeah. Man, listen, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be that one is gonna be I can't wait for that one.
Bruh. I'm telling you right now, this reparations was fire. But y'all, this one's gonna be so fire.
Yeah, this one's gonna be different. Yeah, this one's gonna be different.
It's gonna hit a lot differently, man. So yes, please. Once this comes out, we're dropping this. I'm gonna drop the trailer. Hopefully people are seeing it. We haven't officially dropped it yet on our YouTube page, but I play it every once in a while. But we're gonna play it at the end before we get out of here.
All right, I'm looking forward to that, man. For real, man. Shout out to you and the whole ETN Media family for putting the documentary touch and energy around this movement. I mean, from day one, I call it day -1. Thank you, and family. If you haven't seen Reparations now, it's on Tubi right now. Go watch Reparations now on Tubi. Go to reparationsnowdoc.com to check it out. Go to etnmediagroup.com also, and make sure you see and make sure you watch Reparations Now Part 2 because you don't want to miss it.
Definitely, man. If you guys do go on Amazon, it should be in the description. Go hit that affiliate link. We greatly appreciate it. You can support us there. And just real quick, brother, could we go over this? I mean, is this really still relevant?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's relevant just in a different way. Okay. So we need 41 members to vote no, 21 senators to vote no, and 1 governor to veto.
Right. It's a little different this year.
Yeah. So, but no, it is still relevant. And for those who are listening and not watching, the what's on the screen is a graphic with the numbers 41, 21, and 1 on them. And what we've said over many years now, because we've been really working, so most folks know we come from outside of politics. We regular Black folks, like we always call ourselves. So we've all had to learn the political, civical process in real time over these last several years. And so one of the things that we've been, sharing and putting out knowledge about is what does it take? What's the actual numbers that you need to get a law signed in California? And it's simple. We came with a simple, formula for it. By the way, we got these on T-shirts right now too. So definitely grab those too. But the numbers are 41, 21, and 1. So to make most laws in California, you need these numbers: 41 plus 21 plus 1. 41 plus 21 plus 1. 41 assembly members to vote yes on your law, 21 senators to vote yes on your law, and 1 governor to say yes and sign your law. So to make most laws in California, the math is simple: 41 plus 21 plus 1. And in our case, for us, for actual reparations bills, to get reparations passed and signed into law in California, the math is the same: 41 plus 21 plus 1. And to make it very specific to what we're working on now, to stop bills, let's say you didn't want a bill to become a law, let's say you didn't like a bill, the math is still the same: 41, 21, and 1.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna share my screen yet, but we are actually. You know what? Let me just share my screen right now, so I could just get this one out the way. Let me go do this because we are actually going to be at the Black Cowboys parade.
Oh yeah.
This weekend, actually. It's, as far as I'm aware, it's like the only one in the nation to do. Right? I mean, I could be totally wrong, man, but it's not like, I know, is it Graham? I can't remember the Bill Pickett. I know Bill Pickett has their cowboy rodeo, but that's like in a stadium.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different.
This is actually going to be a parade. Yeah. And then they're going to have a festival with vendors there.
Right.
And you
Music,
got
live performances.
You got brothers dressed in the cowboy stuff. And I'm just saying, fellas, they got sisters out there in their cowgirl giddy up. And
Hey,
if
look,
that ain't enough for y'all to come out, I'm just saying.
our people are an amazing people. So you don't want to miss this. And by the way, we're gonna be out there too. So we're gonna be out there. So the ETN Media family is gonna be out there, right? The CJ family is gonna be out there. The Sacramento team, Sacramento Reparations Collective family is gonna be out there. I'll be out there also. And so what is it? Saturday or Sunday or both days?
This is gonna be this Sunday, just this
Sunday.
Sunday. I think
Sunday.
It starts at
so this Sunday.
like 11 or 12 or something like that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I just been so busy. I haven't been able to create a flyer, but this is one of the probably a website from like last year. Yeah, 2 years ago or something like that. But it's going to be at the McClatchy Park. That's 3500 Fifth Avenue here in Sacramento. So if you're around the area, come out. And I'm sure there's other websites where you can find out this information. But yeah, it's called the Black Cowboys Parade Down Home Blues Festival. That's at McClatchy Park. So
100%. And we'll be out there, and we of course we're gonna be out there talking reparations. We're gonna be out there bringing the reparations energy, raising awareness about reparations here in Sacramento, which is so important. That's some of the most important work that we are doing right now, working not just here in Sacramento but across the state, really raising awareness, making more people know about reparations. So yes, this Sunday, if you are in the Sacramento area, please do come out to the Black Cowboys and Down Home Blues Festival and come get this reparations knowledge.
Absolutely, man. So if y'all haven't had a chance, we actually did something on Independence Day called Birthright. And man, I just kind of want to get your quick opinion before we actually jump into the full topic here. So, I don't know if you've been following this whole Birthright
loosely.
That's been kind of going on with Donald Trump and trying to basically say that Black people, and I'm actually going to play a clip. You know what? As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's segue into it and maybe get your opinion, man. So let's just get right into it, shall we?
Let's do it. Yes.
Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves.
All right, brother. So babies of slaves, man. It came out of President Trump's mouth, 14th Amendment, right? We didn't say it. He said it. Man, do you think this might open up possibly a case for reparations at all?
So that's a good question. And I know there's some folks who, as a matter of fact, when this was going down, some great people who I really respect and who do great work in the reparations space reached out to me to talk about how this might connect to the reparations work. And we still need to have that talk because I really want to hear what they think. So let me give you my general answer. My general answer is yes. This does help, even if it's an indirect way, indirectly. This does help the case for reparations. I think in a couple of ways, but probably the most important way is it says what we've been saying this whole time, which is that the people now Donald Trump, President Trump called them babies of slaves, right? We say, descendants of people who were emancipated from chattel slavery, American freedmen, right? Foundational Black Americans, whatever your choice is. But he's talking about those people. That's the same group of people that we talk about when we talk about reparations. And one of the biggest fights in the reparations world over the past, let's say 5 or so years, really, has been the fight for us as a people to step into our own self-identity and delineate, disaggregate specify ourselves as a specific group of people. And that has come under a lot of support. It also has come under a lot of hostile energy too. So anybody saying the same thing that we saying helps us. So to the extent that President Trump said, listen, there is a group of people, I'm calling them, the babies of slaves, but there is a group of people who this was for. And because this was for them, that this group of people does exist. They are their own people, and there's things that specifically for them. That's a lot of what we've always been saying. So I think that's the first way, probably one of, if not the most important ways that this helps the reparations work. And then real quickly, maybe one other way, and I would like to hear what you think too, family. So, and also for the folks in the family in the chat too, I would love to hear what y'all think too. Does this help the reparations work? So there is and I gotta be honest about this. There is a battle for very scarce, very limited government resources going on right now. And there's all kinds of groups saying, the government should spend their money with us, or the government should spend their money on this thing that we want, or that, or that thing. So to the extent that the president, one, identified us as a specific group of people, and then also, talked about something that's specifically for us, that helps us as we're going and fighting for a very limited, scarce resource against groups who fighting for the same thing. So it helps us mostly in that first way, but I also think it helps us as we fight for resources too.
Got it. Yeah, man, I would have to agree, man. I think at this point, in terms of, data disaggregation, we have SB 515 on the local level.
Right.
Coming through. So this just, in terms of my humble opinion, just helps assist us in what we're trying to do, just trying to be a distinctive and unique group here in the United States, because we have a unique experience here. And just to let everybody know, it's not like we're anti-immigrant or anything like that. Let's put that out there. If you come to this country legally and you get the right paperwork, then cool, right? But as you were saying, when we're talking about resources, we're talking about people who built this country, who've been here for 400 plus years. And this isn't, something that's like a handout. This is a debt that is owed.
Words.
And we need
100%.
to be the first. We need to be the first ones to receive, our reparations, our repair, brother. So,
absolutely right. And again, I know we're gonna talk about some other stuff too, but this is all in line with the reparations fight as we're talking about it now. Because, well, let me give you another example of what I mean by that. So, when the president says something like what he just said about this is for the babies of slaves. By the way, you are 100% right. On the disaggregation and delineation work, California is leading the way, right? We, and by we, I mean the Coalition for Just and Equitable California, and really a lot of other people across the state really helped California become the first state in 2022 to pass a law that says all state agencies need to collect data for residents or on residents who are descendants of people who were enslaved in this country. No other state has done that since, from what I understand. I know there's states working towards that, and we're really, really, really happy to see that. But you are absolutely right. The delineation work is happening, and so when the president says something like that helps us. You also mentioned SB or Senate Bill 515. That's another delineation bill that we have this year, moving in the California state legislature. That bill would require every city and county across California to create a category of data collection. Start counting us descendants, count us American freedmen, count us foundational Black Americans, count us whatever your term is as a specific group of people. So 100%, these are things that help us. And when the president is talking like that, that only helps us make our case for reparations, because that's the group of people who we fighting for reparations for. But let me get back to this other point real quick on the fighting for the resources part. So the president is 100% right when in the last part of the clip when he was saying, people coming in here on a vacation or so. That's not everybody, but I mean, we have evidence here in California. I mean, there have been criminal investigations and actual charges filed against people and organizations who have been abusing the birthright citizenship process. So when that happens, Government resources got to go to that, and that then makes less government resources available for what we want. So it is absolutely an impact on us fighting for the resources we need for reparations.
Absolutely, bro. All right, man. Let's I'm trying to pull up this other clip, man, but I'll try to do that later. Let's go into some other stuff right now. I have to do this, man. I have to do this. I want to get your opinion on this one. All right, bro.
Oh man, I'm nervous right now.
Might be, but let's go. Here we go.
And I'll be dancing out California. The kid who got it all wrong.
Hey man, so I don't know if you know who Drewski is, man, but
I know the brother Drewski. Shout out to the brother Drewski.
Sorry, man. Sometimes we gotta keep it a little light, man.
Shout out to the brother Drewski. You know, Drewski showed us love here as we were doing reparations work. So I think he reposted or restoried one of Camilla Moore, chair of California Reparations Task Force, Camilla Moore's post, and gave her a shout out, tagged her and everything.
Wow, man.
Tagged her and everything. Yep. This was like 2023. So so shout out to Drewski. All right, shout out to the Could Have Been Love and the Could Have Been House and Could Have Been Records and all that. All right, yeah. Could have been,
right. That's hilarious, bro. All right, man. So let's actually jump into the topic here, man. I'm gonna play a clip here, and then I want to get your take on it. Let me see. Let's go. Let me add this to the stage, bro. And
then just speak directly into the mic.
1 2 1 2.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right, here. Let me pause it real quick and just make sure everybody can hear it. I know some may have seen it or may not have seen it, but this was at the California Senate Education Committee hearing in March. And so you're going to see our good brother Chris do his thing. So shout out to you, bro. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
Good morning, Senators. My name is Chris Lodgson. I'm the lead volunteer organizer and advocate with the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, the state's leading grassroots coalition born to achieve reparations for California residents who descend from people emancipated from chattel slavery. We're here today in respectful opposition to SB 437. Here's why. First, the proposal directly contradicts the recommendations of the California Reparations Task Force. The task force did not, and I repeat, the task force did not recommend that the state conduct additional research to determine how an individual might determine their descendancy from U.S. chattel slavery. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. The proposal is unnecessary, redundant, raises serious risk of fiscal waste, would create crippling and cascading implementation delays, and was already rejected by community advocates. Specifically, it's unnecessary because tracing ancestry to U.S. chattel slavery is already a known practice conducted by genealogists literally every single day. It raises serious risk of fiscal waste because the research proposed directs millions of taxpayer dollars originally budgeted for reparations implementation to a multi-million-dollar genealogy research project with no start date and no end date to the research. It would create severe implementation delays because none of the other Black Caucus bills currently moving in the legislature targeting descendants can actually take effect until the proposed research project is completed. Furthermore, last year, this same proposal was rejected by community advocates and former Senator Stephen Bradford when Governor Newsom's office proposed nearly a carbon copy of what is now SB 437 as amendments to Senator Bradford's SB 1403. Lastly, the proposal in SB 437 conflicts with yet another one of Senator Weber Pearson's proposals, namely SB 518, and I'm happy to speak more about that in the Q&A. Senators, Californians whose ancestors built this country through hundreds of years of free labor are tired of research. We don't need more research. We need action. We need reparations. Vote no on SB 437. Thank you so much.
I had a question with regards to the comment that stated that proposed bill conflicts with your other bill that you're currently with SB 518. I was kind of curious if I could hear from you.
I don't know of any conflict, so you'd have to ask the person who stated.
Oh, okay.
Happy to speak to that, and also I would like to address, if I may, share a couple other comments that were made by Senator Lay and Senator Cabaldon here as well. Um, uh,
If you
so
could just speak to
sure,
Senator Ochobo's question.
every one of you was hopefully given a couple of handouts before the hearing started. There's a handout, the one that has SB 437 on the front. It's a fact sheet, and then SB 518 on the other side. If you look to the gray arrows, those are the sections that specifically address Senator Ochobo's question. The fact sheets for both bills say that the bills are doing the same thing. If you look at the language in the fact sheet, and if you read the bills themselves too, SB 518 creates a state bureau with a genealogy office to determine a process for how to determine lineage. SB 437 creates a research project to create a process for how to determine lineage. That is a direct conflict, literally a direct conflict. The two bills are in conflict with one another, and also respectfully, the task force, to Senator Weber's point earlier and to Senator Ochobo's question, the task force recommended that the state create a state agency with a genealogy office, to create a process for those to help identify that they were descendants. They did not recommend that we do additional no start date and no end date research on how to determine who is a descendant. And that's actually what the bill does. That is actually what the bill does. The bill does not only ask the CSUs to create a process for how to determine lineage. The bill also says that the CSUs need to research how that process is supposed to happen. That's not what the task force recommended. We don't need that additional research. What we need is to create the process and start actually doing genealogy services. So that is what the bill, that's what the task force actually recommended.
So let me explain what the task force has recommended and what the bills do, since I've read the report and I'm the author of the bills. So the bill that is before you today will establish the process of how to determine one's lineage. It will do the research that was explicitly discussed in the task force language that I just read for you on how to determine one's lineage. Once that information has been determined, then that will be given to the genealogy division at the agency. And I stated that already, so that any African American or someone who believes they are a descendant, they might not even be African American because of what has happened during slavery, but they may have lineage to someone who was in chattel slavery, can go to the agency and say, I think I'm a descendant. The agency has the information on the ways in which they can then verify that through genealogical testing, and that's how it's done. So the CSU is doing the research to determine the best method or methods. We have the funds for that. We can get that started now. The agency is where the individuals will go to actually get that testing done. Senator Ochoa, did you have any further questions?
No, I'm good, ma'am. Okay, I'm Chair.
Thank you.
You know what? You made me rewatch that. Oh my goodness.
You know, bro. So while I'm pulling up SB 437, bro,
Yeah.
Give us your take on that day in particular, and just kind of your thoughts, man.
Well, I want to pick up right where the end was, because it's crazy to see that and then see the hearings that have happened after, and then compare the hearings that happened after to what we just watched. So, but let me just jump right into the smoke. So, it's mind-boggling, and I'm using this word mind-boggling because I was hearing some of our families, use it yesterday. So I'm saying it more now because I'm hearing it more. So it's mind-boggling to me that the senator said at the end of those comments that the CSU is going to do the research study, and then after that, the agency, she really meant bureau because they don't have a bill for an agency. There is no agency bill. There is no bill to create a state agency. There is no bill to create a state agency, which is what they promised this year. There's a bill to create a bureau. A bureau is different than an agency. We can talk about that, et cetera. But the senator said the CSU is going to do this studying of this research and this, genealogy. By the way, the genealogists tell us and told her right there, we don't need research. We don't need studying of genealogy. We know how to do genealogy. But the senator said the CSU is going to do the studying of genealogy, and then the agency, she meant bureau, is going to pick it up next. It's crazy to hear that because there's nothing in the bill. And we actually talked to the CSUs about this, and they said that they had some concerns about this too. There's nothing in the CSU study bill that says that the agency, the bureau rather, has to do anything, has to use any of the study outcomes, study results that the CSUs do. So there's the CSUs could do all this studying, and then the agency bureau could say, thank you, but no thank you. We don't want none of that. We're going to do our own thing. And that is the problem. And that speaks to the point that I made. The language in 437 says the CSUs need to study and then create a process to certify who's a descendant. The Bureau in 518 says the Bureau needs to create a genealogy office, and then for that genealogy office to create a process to certify descendants. That conflict has not been resolved. As a matter of fact, it may have gotten worse. And when you ask the senator, you ask some of the staff members about this, you ask some of the folks about this who are working on this bill, their understanding is that the agency and the bureau, or the bureau and the CSU study, are very much connected, and then the CSUs are going to do the study, and then the bureau is going to pick it up. But there's nothing that guarantees any of that. If that's the case, if you think that, put that language in the bill. Put language in the bill that says the CSUs must do something with this, bureau. Now, I'm saying that with the understanding that this study is completely unneeded, unnecessary. Throw the whole study out is the position that we have. Withdraw the study, cancel it, throw it out. We don't need this study, and that was the big point that I made, or at least part of the first point that I made. And the genealogists have been saying the same thing. It's not just that the task force did not recommend this studying. The people who would be doing it are telling us that we don't need this studying either. So that's the first big problem. The second big problem with Senate Bill 437 is something that I mentioned during those comments, but I kind of want to say more about the implementation delays, the stall, the block. This bill blocks anything else that's for descendants, reparations or not. If you got a bill next year that says we're gonna do this for descendants, not reparations, but something else. If we got a bill that says we are gonna do reparations for descendants next year, all that has to wait until this study is done. So to me, that's the even bigger problem with this study, is that it blocks anything and everything else. And then finally, there's the other part that we talked about earlier that's wrong with this bill. The fact that it's doing the same thing that another bill is doing, which is going to create confusion, all kind of problems. So all that is to say, it's crazy to see that. Yes, they made some changes to the bill since that hearing that you just saw. They added a start date to the study. They added an end date to the study. Why I didn't have a start date, why I didn't have an end date to begin with is mind-boggling to me. But the bill has a start date now. The bill has an end date now. The study would start in 2026, and it would be supposed to end in 2029, 2030, or 2029. I mean, that's 3 to 5 years. That's 2 to 3 times the entire length of the entire California Reparations Task Force for something that we don't need to study. So I'm gonna stop because I could go on for hours on this, but you for folks who are watching on the screen right now, you see the bill right now. We're talking about SB 437.
Absolutely, man. And so, maybe we could just kind of go through the bottom. Okay, so here's like before. So for the people that are unaware of how bills are amended, uh, you can see that in red they strike out the word, and then in blue, then they indicate the revision on the document. So, as Chris mentioned, at one point they didn't even have an end date, right? So now they have an end date. What is this before start? So 29, 229, 2030. So if I'm correct, Chris, they could basically go until what, 2030, academic year of 2030.
They could go until the start of the 2029 school year. It says, or it sounds like to me, at least from what I'm told. So basically, so like fall of 2029, which is 4 years from now, or more than 4 years from right now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Let's talk about this $6 million here. Let's talk about the $6 million. So the CSU had the trustees, which, by the way, I didn't even know that Governor Gavin Newsom was on the trustee board.
Yep.
Until shout out to Sharice Cryer. She was like, hey, y'all need to check this out. And when I looked at it, found out that the governor was actually on the board, then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, because you mentioned, I think in that clip or prior to, or I know we've mentioned it before, but how isn't that a conflict of interest if like your bill, meaning the governor, SB 437, was originally SB 1403, right? Was the California Freedmen Affairs Agency. You go up here, you put in your amendments, and now all of a sudden, as you mentioned, I believe in that clip, now this is your bill, right? So you went from the agency to this, which is, to me, I don't know, is that some kind of conflict of interest? Especially now they literally put a budget of $16 million for the CSU.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I don't know is the real answer, but my sense is that no, it's not a conflict of interest because it's not the governor's bill technically. It is. I mean, it's the senator's bill, so it's Senator Weber Pearson's bill, technically, and then the entire legislature approves it, etc. But my sense is that it's not a conflict of interest. I mean, I still don't like it. Let's just be 100. I still don't like it, but I don't think it is technically a conflict of interest. But it is. It does look and feel a certain way because the governor is on the group of trustee. Now, let's keep it real too. The board of trustees, they don't decide whether or not to, they don't decide whether or not to, take a bill or, like that. They are, working for the school. But my sense is that they are at least a part of the decisions, if I'm not mistaken, about what bills the CSUs support, et cetera. And we do know that the CSU, the California State University system, is now supporting SB 437, at least from what we were told by them at the hearings. So Senate Bill 437 is being supported by the CSUs, but my sense that it's not a conflict of interest. It just sucks though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through the bottom part real quick, and we got about 10, 15 minutes here.
No worries.
And I want to just kind of highlight the bottom, and then we jump to 518, just so we could see what you were actually talking about, the discrepancy here. So at the end, it says on section 8308 at the bottom, it says, for purpose of this section, descendant of enslaved person means an individual who can establish direct lineage to a person who before 1900 was subjected to American chattel slavery and meets at least one of the following criteria: was emancipated through legal or extra legal means, including self-purchase, manumission, legislative action, military service, or judicial ruling, obtain freedom through gradual abolition, statutes, or constitutional amendments, was classified as a fugitive from bondage under federal state law, was deemed contraband by military authorities, and rendered military or civic service while subject to legal restrictions based on ancestry historically associated with slavery.
Yeah.
And then just kind of going back up, again. It says, for the purposes of confirming an individual status as a descendant of an enslaved person for eligibility. All right, and we already named the academic year. So I wanted to point that out. Because as we jump into, as a matter of fact, let's just go right into 518.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So now I don't know. Chris, can you see my screen, brother?
Yeah.
518?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, cool. All right.
Yeah, I can see it.
So let's see. Let's scroll down.
Good work, brother, by the way. I'm loving the visuals right now. Good work, man.
Appreciate it. Okay. So they had a little revision in here. If you can see it in blue, it said a genealogy division do all the following: establish a process to certify descendants of American slaves. All right, Chris isn't making stuff up.
Right.
Create a method for eligible individual to submit claims and receive compensation or restitution for those particular harms California inflicted upon claimant, etc. Establish an equitable alternative qualifying criterion for benefits of descendants authorized by the state in cases where an individual's status as a descendant cannot be confirmed or proven.
I don't know about that one.
Support potential reparations claimants and assistance and in verifying genealogical lineage by applying established evidence-based methodology to aid in determining eligibility. Thoughts on that, my brother Chris?
Yeah, so let's. I'm gonna give some specific thoughts, and then I want to broaden out and widen out for the folks in the family who listening and watching to make this make sense. So, yeah, you're right. Specifically, you're right. There's some language added. If folks are looking at the screen in that blue, like that blue is new language. So, what that language does, I think, is that's supposed to, at least from what I think, it don't make sense to me. It don't like read that way to me. But I'm just saying what I think this is supposed to do is make it more clear the relationship, or let me say it like this: take out the conflict between SB 518 and 437, and or make the bureau that's created in 518 have to use what the study in 437 does. Okay? The problem is that's not clear at all in this language. It is still the case that if you read what you're looking at right now, what is that? That A1 or whatever it is, the part where it says this new bureau that will be created by this bill needs to have a genealogy office, and then that genealogy office in A or in 1 needs to create a process to certify the descendants of American slaves. That is the same thing that's in, and brother, if you could go back to 437 and if you could put that back on the screen and look at 83.08, whatever it is, B. So there's one section in what we're looking at that we just read. Perfect, right? So what we just read in the first part was the bureau needs to create a process to certify who's a descendant of American slavery, or who's a descendant of people who were enslaved in this country. That's what it should say, right? Or something similar. In B, in the other bill, and this is the point that I was making, it says damn near the same thing. Specifically, it says the California State University shall conduct or shall explore options. Now, explore options means research, right? Study, explore options to determine how to confirm an individual's status as a descendant of an enslaved person, right? And then the CSUs, the California State University, shall also establish a process for what? Conducting or verifying genealogical research for the purposes of determining an individual status as a descendant. So create a process in 437 to figure out who's a descendant. Create a process in 518 to figure out who's a descendant. The Bureau in 518 doesn't have to use the 437 process. And this is the even worse problem. So let's say that the Bureau in 518 creates their own process. Let's say the CSUs in 437 create their own process to figure out who's a descendant. Let's say somebody else's bill next year has their own process to figure out who's a descendant, and somebody else has another bill. So you see the problem? Now we have 5, 10, 20, 2011, 100 different ways to determine who's a descendant. That's going to lead to chaos, and ultimately no reparations. So that's exactly the point that we've been making, and both bills are still in conflict with one another. Let me say one last thing real quick. On 518, let's back it up and make it more broad. What this bill does is create a new state bureau whose job it would be to, among other things, do genealogy work. This genealogy bureau, well, let me say this. We have two big problems, really three, but two that we haven't talked about, big problems with this bill. The one that we have talked about, the problem that we have talked about is how it conflicts with the other bill. But the two bigger problems that we haven't talked about are, one, right now, this bureau would be housed inside of the California Department of Justice. That is the state's top law enforcement body. That's the country's second largest law enforcement body. No reparations system should run through law enforcement, period. It is insulting. It's insulting and disrespectful as you know what, to put our reparations process inside of the law enforcement arm of the state. It's disrespectful as hell. I don't care if other groups, we not know other groups. Don't put our stuff inside no law enforcement by disrespectful as hell. The second big problem we have with the bill is that although it says this is a bureau for descendants of American slavery, if you read into the bill like itself, you actually read the words of the bill, it says that this is a bureau that will serve, quote, both descendants and communities identified in chapters 1 through 13 of the final report of the California Reparations Task Force, something like that, end quote. There are all kind of communities referenced in those other chapters. There's Latinos, there's AAPI folks, there's other kinds of white folks. I mean, there's all kinds of people out there. So this bureau is not really for us. It just says our name on the top. If you read the actual language in the bill, it says it's for descendants and ... Huge problem. Huge problem.
Hey, Chris, if I could,
go in, brother.
And I think this might be it, but maybe let's just confirm. So on section 2, 152101, I believe it says address the lasting harms of disenfranchisement, segregation, discrimination, exclusion, neglect, and violence impacting both descendants and communities harms as described in chapters 1 to 13. Is that one it?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Of the California reparations.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Okay. And that once you said both descendants and you lost us. This was always supposed to be for us specifically. When we was fighting for this type of thing during the Reparations Task Force hearings years ago, we made it very clear and said a lot of times that our original Freedmen's Bureau was taken from us. Our original Freedmen's Bank was taken from us. Our original Freedmen's institutions were taken from us. So this effort now is an opportunity for us to get back and then move forward some things that we should have, could have, would have had if those things didn't get taken from us. So for now, for this thing to be turned into a BIPOC bureau, All Lives Matter bureau, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, you know, man, it's like, would they do this to anybody else's, legislation?
Right.
But ours.
Right.
Let's put everybody in there. It's like every time we go to get something, right, they got to put everybody else. I mean, I think the immigrant bill, the agency didn't pass. I think it
that bill died, yeah.
I think that died in the assembly. And then now I don't know I haven't been following the Latino Commission as of late, so I don't know if that one actually went through or where it's at.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know at one point probably got to follow that one up too. I know it was somewhere being introduced into the legislation and passed at certain point in time. So we got to take a look at that, man.
But let me say real quick, brother. You stay. Let's stay right here because you 100% right now, and I want to underscore this. The white folks ain't putting this language in the bills. It ain't the Latinos putting this language in the bills. It ain't the AAPI. It's not the AAPI family put. it's the black is some of, not all, some of the black elected officials are. So this bill these two bills that we talking about, these are two bills by a black Democrat. A black Democrat is putting a bill up to slow reparations down at least 3 to 5 years. It's a black Democrat that's putting the bill up to put your reparations through law enforcement. Okay? So, and then to give it to everybody. So, yeah.
All right, man. So let's, I was going to play a clip from Lori Wilson. She's been actually quiet, but I don't think, because due to time, maybe we'll skip that. Let me go on
part two.
I know, right? You know what, man? So is there anything else you want to say about 518 before I move on?
Well, you know, I think let me just say real quick about, 518, that this bill has, hasn't gotten as much attention as the other bill has, right? As the study bill has. But this bill is just as dangerous because of how it was put together. And it's unfortunate how it's put together, but it is also a dangerous bill. So I'll leave it there because I know we got to go on to some other stuff too.
All right, wonderful, brother. All right, man. So let's go over some of the comments here, and shout out to the family in the building.
Yo.
Much love and respect, everybody.
What's up, families?
For coming through. Please like, share, and subscribe to your number one source for news and reparations. All right, so let's go through some of these comments here. Let's see here. Okay. Yes, R.I.P. Malcolm.
100.
Salute,
100. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
What up, Hollywood? Cali in the building. What's up?
Shout out to the CA Reparations family.
CA rep in the building.
What's up, family?
You.
What's going on?
Queen Sharice in the building.
What's up, family? Right. What's going on?
OG, it can help, but you know how it goes. They use it when they want hurt us, never to benefit us. Okay.
Right. Right. 100%.
Interesting. Thoughts on Karen Bass doing the Angela cards?
I'm
is that the ones where she's giving cards to immigrants or undocumented people? Is that what?
I want to say that's it. I never heard of it like that, Angela card, but I did see some people kind of talking about this. If that's true, I don't know. But I mean, I wouldn't. It's probably true because of what we've seen going on in this country over the past several years. So let me say this though. It's no longer acceptable. Because I used to come at this from a different angle. But let me say it like this. It's no longer acceptable for city leaders, county leaders, state leaders, national leaders, whatever kind of elected leader you are, to prioritize people who are not citizens of this country over the people who built this country. It's not acceptable. Excuse me. For many people, it's never been acceptable. But it's less and less acceptable among Black Americans, and every day it gets less and less acceptable. This has to stop. Okay? Prioritizing, your priorities matter, and you tell us something about what you think about us when you tell us what your priorities are. So when you can give cash payments to people who are not citizens of the country in a particular place, and then when I go to the Capitol and say, what's up with the cash payments for the American Freedmen Seniors? You tell me we don't got money or we got to wait, et cetera, et cetera. You are telling me that you put in other people over us. And that means that I have to put other people over you. So when you come for my vote, I'm going to put other people over. I'm going to treat you the same way that you treated me.
2026, baby. Here we come. So, I mean, I did this report. If people haven't, first of all, read it, you can actually go to ETM and listen to it, because
What's up, Yasmin?
Read the full report. What's up, Queen Yasmin in the building?
What's up?
Holding it down. East Palo Alto in the building. I read the full report, Brother Chris and family. And it was so disparaging. The numbers of Black Tulsans in Oklahoma is crazy. And the crazier part about this, when you read it, is that I think it was a Cherokee tribe. Don't quote me, but I believe the Cherokee tribe, at least in one of the analytics, they were on par with the white folk. Like, I think it was either like the earnings or something like that. And I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Crazy,
you know,
man. Shout out to Queen.
And shout to Queen Yasmin, of course. But brother, on that, so I want to say a quick point on that too, because I think the report you read was one of the five, right? One of the five of the series of Color of Wealth reports, which were done by folks like Professor William Darity Jr. out of Duke University, a bunch of other schools, I think, and the Federal Reserve was involved. And what they did in this really historic study was first ask and find out what is people's actual wealth, and then also find out and ask what is your lineage too. So we got lineage and wealth data together in this report for 5 cities in 2016, 2017, 2018. I think it came out. One of those cities was Tulsa, and that was the graphic that you just put up, family, from that report. But the cities of LA was looked at, right? Boston was looked at, Miami, Tulsa, and I think there was one other city, maybe DC. One other city was also looked at too. And you 100%, brother. The numbers were bad when that report was new, which was a few years ago. They've only gotten worse, if you ask me, in many respects. Although we do have some data that kind of speaks to it. So I just want to lift that up, family. If you have not read those reports, they are foundational, like, knowledge and reading in the reparations movement, because the reparations movement relies heavily on the concept, the idea of wealth to make our case in many different ways. Wealth, household wealth, the value of what you own as a household minus what you owe as a household. Okay? So that's a very, very, very important concept for us, because let me just use my last minute or so here to drop some other knowledge on this. So we make the case that, and we are told that household wealth is the best way to understand the impact of the past on the present, if you're talking like economically. And so we are fighting for something to fix something that happened bad in the past, to make the present better and the future better. So the best way to understand how we could do that, one of the best ways, if not the best way, is to understand wealth. So wealth is a very, very important number, and we don't collect wealth data very well here in the country. We only do it at the national level. We don't do it at the state level. There's all kind of problems. So that is a very, very important point. It's a very, very important concept. You really do need to understand wealth and our wealth position as a people, if you are going to be as effective as you can be in the reparations movement.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All right, let's go through some more of these comments and we will get out of here. So they want us to give our DNA. I believe, Miss D, thank you for joining.
What's up, Miss D?
Might be referring to the OJ, if I'm correct.
I think so. And from my understanding, the genealogists tell us that they don't need any DNA to trace your ancestry to enslavement in this country. At least for most people. There may be some people who need a little bit more help, but for most people, they're not going to need it. We can use public records. That's what the genealogists tell us. And no matter what, I still don't want none of that near the DOJ law enforcement entity. Like, I don't want none of that near there.
Facts. We must stop Gavin Newsom from becoming president. He's lucky he's the governor. He is very lucky. As a matter of fact, I hate to say it, but we were supporting like Governor Gavin Newsom. Remember that recall?
We supported. We opposed his opponent, which was Larry Elder, who was 100% against, like openly against reparations. But you know what? Now I've learned more and better. Larry Elder was just open with his anti-reparations energy. Right from the other side, we get they're just quiet about it, or at least quiet until they can't be quiet no more.
Right. Sharice Cryer, they put the study in to appease the governor and give him an out to block their other bills.
Such a powerful point. Especially when, let me talk about the last point that Sister Sharice made. We were saying this earlier too. You give the governor a easy veto, because all the governor has to assume an easy veto to all of the other bills that's not the study. Because all the governor has to say is, I want to wait till the study's done to do all these other things. And since we can't afford a lot of things anyway right now, I need to make some cuts. So I'm a veto this bill, that bill, that bill, that bill. I'm a veto anything that's waiting on this study. Okay? So Sharice is absolutely right there. I'm saying.
Absolutely. Pop Dop. P-O-P-D-O-P. What up, fam?
What's up, fam? What's going on?
Freed Peeps. Freed Peeps reposted the stream. Thank you, Freed Peeps. Easy Axe. Greetings, family. Ain't seen you in a minute. What's up? Greetings, family. Has the AU, African Union, and national reparations been discussed yet? Nope, it has not. I've heard about it. I haven't really had a chance. Just been really busy. Chris, I don't know if you've heard any rumors about the African Union trying to, quote unquote, ease their way into what we're doing out here in the United States.
I haven't looked into it. I saw like the stream from Dana. So on Dana's podcast, I seen she did a story and a show on it, but I haven't looked into it. No.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks. I need to look into it first just to kind of see. Just to see what information is out there. But hey, we might actually do a short or something on it.
Yeah, educate me on that, man.
Right. Yeah, but I got to educate myself, brother. So it's basically a civil rights agency. They always mule us to everyone else's cause. So, Sister Sharice, I don't know if you're referring to what Easy Axe was saying, but maybe that's what she's referring to.
I think she's talking about I think she's talking about 518 and the opening it up to the
518.
Yeah, because then it becomes for everybody else type thing.
Yeah, that's true. How is delineation viewed at the state capitol? You want to answer that, Chris?
Yeah, we haven't had really any big opposition to our delineation efforts. Though, to be honest, that's been the easiest. I'm saying easiest, with a big star on there, but that's been the easiest thing to get done. I mean, we're on our second delineation bill right now. Our first one got passed and signed into law, and now every state agency in California has to have a category of data collection for people who are descendants of those who were enslaved in this country. So the state agencies have started to delineate, or at least they have been told to start delineating. We are working with them and with some dope, real dope, and powerful state employees to help implement this. But this is now we're in our second delineation bill. Now we have a bill to make every city and every county in California do what the state is already doing and delineate. So it's been fairly well received. It's been understood very well. I mean, folks have questions about it, but they're really simple and very reasonable questions. And we haven't had really any opposition, at least publicly, to this work, although we know there, could be opposition at some point.
Absolutely, man. Well, brother, I was going to let's get through these. Oh
man!
I'm trying to drop something.
Man, you gonna do it?
Lead organizer and advocate with CJEC, the California for a Just and Equitable.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to hold on, let me get that out of here.
You gonna drop that teaser on
All
him
right.
like that?
Yeah,
You
I
might
was
have to ask him
gonna
to go to the
that
website.
yeah, I'm gonna have to drop that. I was gonna do the you know what, man? I'm gonna do that. So when we go out, I'm gonna drop the Chris's EPK, his electronic press kit, and then after that, then we're gonna go out with the Reparations Now documentary. I was trying to
Come on.
load it earlier so I wouldn't forget, but hey, this is live.
No worries,
Stuff
brother.
happens.
It's live.
All right.
It's live.
So it is all the way live, family. All right.
What's up, Audra?
Audrey Walton. Shout
Shout out
out
to Sister
Audra.
Audra.
Love you.
Love,
Everything
love,
that you
fam.
do.
Good to see you
Everything you
and
do, sister.
I'll pardon me, my brother. I wanted to say good to oh shit. I'm sorry. I just saw the next comment. Good to see you in Santa Cruz over the weekend, Audra. Thank you for all the work that you are doing. BlackAF.net. Please support and thank you for all the work that you are doing. And I'm gonna leave that second comment alone right there.
Chris for governor 2028. All right. Chris, hey man, you already got a nom going on, bruh.
I got one. I already got one vote. Now it's 25 more million votes.
Well, you got two, bruh.
There it is.
Two.
Come on, see that? Come on, right?
You got
See,
Audra and you got me. Already, baby. Already ready to go. All right. So let's see who else here. All right. Yes, it is true.
What's up, Sister Dana?
Dana Dorsey, appreciate
you. What's up? What's up?
All right.
Good to see you, fam.
For the
there it is.
Chat.
That super chat. Come on.
That.
Love.
Thank you, Audra, for the super chat too, as well. Shout out to you.
Love to you all. Appreciate y'all. That's right. Shout out to all the reparationists in the chat.
Absolutely. Remove that. Yeah, I support Chris for governor. So you got 3. I think you got 3 now, right? Is that right? So you got 3?
I got 3 votes.
So you got me.
I mean, y'all know we playing, all right? Because somebody gonna clip this and then be like, "Yo, I heard Chris running for governor in 20." But thank you to the. I'm flattered, right? I'm flattered, like really. I mean, like this is flattering. So thank you,
Chris. Have you thought about running for the state assembly? Yeah.
I have thought about it. I have thought about it. I have thought about a lot of things. And life is interesting. So we'll see where life takes us. But right now, I'm 1,000% focused on to be honest, I'm not hiding this because I don't want to hide, and I don't like I just am comfortable just saying what's on my mind. So if I was to ever run for anything, it will be after we get reparations or something. I want to be able to point to someone and say, listen, okay, before I got into office, I was able to, we were able to get this, done, or I want to actually have done something first. So that's what's on my mind. That may be, just me not thinking about it in the right way. I don't know, but I feel like you got to be able to go to your people and say, listen, I got something tangible already for you, and here's what we're gonna get in addition to that. If you support. Oh, I would love. Oh, yeah, that's a great comment right there. Yeah, you definitely. Wait, haven't you had them on already?
Yeah. We've had Audra on the platform, so yes, we have. We would always welcome her back. It was a great build, and would love to have her back on the
100%.
So, you're always welcome, Audra. You are always welcome. And there's a lot going on with Audra, I think. So we definitely love to get her back on the platform. Thanks for educating the Greens on Reparations San Jose. Salute
right on
to you, Audra. Salute. Appreciate you.
Salute to everybody in the chat. To all of the, I know we're going crazy overtime right now. But salute to everybody in the chat. All the reparationists. Audra, Dana. We got Sharice in there. I mean, everybody. All right, Michael. Thank you.
Heavily melanated. I approve. You got 4, man.
Four. There we go.
4. I think.
Come on.
You got.
This is a good. This is a good rate, man. I mean, I got 4 in like what, 10 minutes.
4 to 10 minutes, bro. At this rate, right?
At this
rate,
might
win.
I might win in 2027.
You know.
Shout out those.
What's up?
What up, Shanna? What's going on? Heavily melanated. What's up, fam?
Always in the Bay Area, holding it down. Thanks, Audra Walter. Yes, thank you very much, man. We appreciate everybody, man. Like for real, for real. All right, so blah blah blah. Let's go down. Dang.
Oh yeah. Now wait. we changed the whole game.
Right. You went from Assembly, Senate, legislation to governor to the
now
president.
Now president. I'm flattered. You know, I mean, like no matter what, like I think people onto something. I think we all sense this, right? Like, and I said it before, and I don't have a problem saying it again. Like, we don't have the right people in office right now here in California, I think, to accomplish reparations. Like, and when I say reparations, I'm talking about checks, cash payments. I'm talking about the return of our stolen wealth. I don't think we have the right people in office because the people who are supposed to be like the most for it are acting scary. The people who supposed to be the most like toughest about it, who got the power to do it, are acting scary. They acting like they don't want to do it or they scared to do it because they're going. So if you scared and you got the power, then you're not the right person, right? So right now we need a different kind of elected like person. We need like superheroes in those offices. We need people who like is like special once in a generation type people. And I don't see it. I mean, all I hear is a lot of excuses about why we can't do something or why we gotta wait to do something or why we can't afford. That's not the type of energy we need. Like, that's not gonna get you reparations. That type of energy is not gonna get you reparations. So I think the people are sensing it, even though people saying it about me, people are sensing it that we need new people in there. So I'm with that.
Absolutely. All right. Somebody says, well, let me give a shout out to Michael Pan. Thanks for the super chat, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Always appreciate everybody for coming through, man.
Oh, yeah.
When I say every penny helps, man, every penny, every dollar, everything, we humbly appreciate that. Anything y'all can do. Chris, how do you stay motivated, man? Is it your lifestyle? Is it your diet? Is it your mind state? What is it? How do you stay motivated?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I think first, I want to say my spiritual connection, and my connection to God and my ancestors. I think that's the first thing. Also, I'm very intentional about taking care of myself and pouring into my own energy. Very, very intentional about that every day. Every day I'm on that, multiple times a day. And then lastly, I would say it's everyone here. It's you, Brother Umoya. It's everybody in the chat. It's everyone who's watching and listening. It's us as a people keep me motivated. When you are motivated, I'm motivated. And when things are not going well for you and for us as a people, I get motivated too. I mean, it's hard to go outside and see our people out there on the streets and hungry and unhoused. And I mean, y'all know the way we live. Like it's hard to not be motivated to do something when you seeing that and when you live in that. So it's a combination of those things and more that keep me motivated.
Yeah. Okay, bro. We over time, so we might as well just go over time.
Come on.
I mean, well, first of all, if you don't mind, I got to ask my guests if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I got about another 10 minutes, so let's do it.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of, because I kind of want to touch about this, especially as advocates, right? About us needing rest, because we all need rest to recoup and come up for another day. So like you mentioned a couple things, man, about this, and I'm, because we go back, bro. You know what I'm saying? As you mentioned earlier, we go back before AB 3121 to the start, even before there was a bill. So, you know what kind of energy and motivation that takes, especially when you're volunteering, and on top of that, when you get to August 31st, 2024, and you get to that midnight, and it's like they throwing the football, right? And you see that other team just scoring and winning, right? But they're supposed to be on your team. Does that make any sense? So, Chris, I mean, I can speak for myself, you know, how your mind has to be and how you get motivated, bruh. But when people tell you, bruh, we're not going to get reparations, look at the CLBC. Look what they did. They're not going to help us. They're not going to do anything. Mentally speaking, man, what does that do to you when, especially it's your own people telling you that?
Man, that's a great question, brother. And I would love to hear what you think too. And I also would love to hear what folks in the chat think too. So if you know, folks in the chat, you know, how do you respond, you know, psychologically, right? Maybe not so much like with what you say in response to the person who may say something like this, but like, how do you manage and regulate your own psychology when you get negative, energy towards something that you know? First of all, all right, well, let me answer the question straight. So now I get excited when I hear that, like, because there's something about, like, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people like this. And I was saying to myself the other day too. It's kind of like the tougher the odds are against me, the tougher I get. So like it's like saying, you know, when the going get tough, the tough get going. Like, it's something like that, but I don't think it's that like simple. I think it's something. It's a lot of people like this where it's the more odds are against me, the more I think I'm gonna win. Like the harder it looks, the harder I go. So when I hear that, it excites me. It bothers the hell out of me, and then somehow I've been able to turn that bother energy into like, okay, I'm so bothered now, instead of, you know, like now I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, or, you know, now working on some, you know, talking points, or, you know, working on the website, or, you know, working on our next call to action. Like, so now you just made me and gave me even more energy to go and do what we say we going to do. So I think, you know, I've been, and this is something that I've been conditioning myself over years for. So that's how I react now. But I also understand that, you know, I think Brother Chad Brown from our LA family, the Lineage Equity and Advancement Project, LEAP, said it great. He said, you know, there was people back in the enslavement era who, you know, said, you know what, we ain't never gonna leave slavery. It's been 200 years. Slavery ain't never gonna end. It's been 250 years. Slavery ain't. Why are you working to stop slavery? You know that ain't. It's been 250 years. We always gonna be in slavery in this country. Okay, and sure enough, within 10 or so years of that, you know, after 256 years, slavery, at least slavery that's not going on in prison, ended. So I keep that example in my mind too. That, you know, what we're doing is something that people thought was impossible. And the last thing I do is I think about all the progress that we made so far. We've gotten and pushed this farther than I think any generation, with the exception of like the generation that came out of you know, slavery. Like I think, and that includes the HR 40 John Conyers generation in the 80s. I think we even passed them in terms of how far we've pushed what we pushing. So yeah. So
all right, if you can, because I know we got 2 more videos to play. If you can answer this in like, I guess,
lightning round,
30 seconds, lightning round. I'm trying to get
I can do better than that. Yeah.
Okay, like 20, 30 seconds. So Michael Pan says, Chris, what is your strategy for an individual ally
It's a good
working on
question.
reparations at various levels of the government?
And brother Michael, thank you for the question, brother. You always ask the great questions, brother. So thank you. And also keep your. I know you emailing us too, so keep emailing us. We are reading every single email. And thank you for the great questions and comments, of course. So, well, one, I think for somebody who is not a freedman who wants to support this work, connect with freedman organizations and support their work. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Find a freedman organization that's fighting for what you believe in and support them. Do what they ask you to do. Be there when they ask you to show up. Do their calls to actions. Donate. Go to their events. Help them plan events. Suggest ideas to them. Help bring other people in. But the first thing is finding either a group or some other people who are freedmen who are working on this, and then going to them and saying the same thing that you're asking us right now. How can I support your work? That was like 35 seconds.
Lightning round, bro. All right, well, Chris, as always, brother, man, we always appreciate you, man. We know you're an honorary contributor to Amend the Mass Media Group in the building. And give a shout out to Jay in the building. What's up, Jay?
Shout out to the brother,
man.
Jay.
I hope you're doing well, man.
Jay Bryce, the company. What's up, family? What's going on, family? Love, always.
Absolutely. Is there a way to set up think tanks at all levels of education? Well, this is one think tank here on Amend the Mass Media Group, by the way.
The answer is yes, 100%. And the answer to your question, Curious Child, I love that name, by the way, is yes, absolutely. So the short answer is absolutely yes. That is absolutely doable, possible. I think there are some groups who are doing it now too, but yeah.
Absolutely.
The politicians have to be accepting of that advice, though. So just to add that piece to it.
Absolutely. And just by the way, Curious Child or anybody, just go to cjec-official.org, sign up on the newsletter, and then you'll get up to date, information if you haven't already signed up to the newsletter at cj-official.org.
There you go.
All right. Let's see. Okay, brother. So we're gonna wrap it up here, man, and call it a night. We're an hour and 20 minutes, or close to an hour and a half in the program. I wanted to wrap up at an hour, but hey, brother, every time you come on here, man, we have fun.
We talk, man. We just talk as people, man.
Know what I'm
saying? It's my privilege and my absolute pleasure to be here. Looking forward to coming back soon, and I know I will.
Wonderful, brother. All right, man. So, giving you flowers now, right here. So we're going to run your wonderful EPK presented by Amend the Mass Media Group. So shout out to everybody, Kim and Darlene, for holding it down as well. And everybody, please tune in. We're going to be at the Cowboy Blues Festival this Sunday here in Sacramento. So if you're around the area, come check us out. Come to our booth, say what's up, get a little flyer. I think we might have something else. We might have some surprises out there too as well. So come through. You're gonna see. You might be able to meet Chris. I don't know. You maybe not. He may be there.
Maybe there. You know, but you got to be there to find out.
Maybe not. Got to be in the building, family. All right, Chris, the COBC diss track 32 minimum bars. Yep.
That's hilarious. I know who that is.
All right, fam. So let's go play this EPK, and always take care of yourself, your loved ones, and we will see you next time right here on Amend the Mass Media Group. We are out. As always, peace and lineage-based reparations.
And the Sacramento Reparations Collective. Both are grassroots, California-based organizations working for reparations and reparative justice for descendants of persons emancipated in the United States, also known as American freedmen.
Good morning, good afternoon, chair members. My name is Chris Lodgson. I'm here on behalf of the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, the state's original grassroots reparations advocacy organization, and we strongly oppose SB 437 and urge you to vote no or abstain from voting on this seriously flawed and misguided proposal. On its face, SB 437 would allocate millions of taxpayer dollars to the California State University system to study genealogy. While this may sound helpful, in reality, genealogy study is unnecessary. In addition, this proposal misinterprets and even contradicts the very recommendations of California's own reparations task force, and in all likelihood, SB 437 will create serious implementation delays and other problems. Thirdly, SB 437 not only delays residents from getting direct genealogy services for at least 3 to 5 years, but it also potentially delays any and every state policy or program now or in the future for descendants, whether they are related to reparations or not. Moreover, the study proposed in SB 437 directly conflicts with what is proposed in its companion bill.
He has been featured and quoted in local, state, and national publications and platforms including NBC News, Cal Matters, Yahoo News, Sacramento Observer, and many more. In addition, he has been interviewed on numerous programs including ABC, KQED, and The Morning Show with Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley.
Needs to cut the check.
Yes.
The state assembly needs to cut.
Yes.
The state senate needs to cut the check.
Yes.
Governor Gavin Newsom, cut the check. Cut the check.
He is fearless, dedicated, and committed to the plight for reparations. Chris Lodgson, a humble servant for the community, continues to fight for the righteous justice claim, a debt and an original sin that is yet to be rectified in the greatest economy in the world, built on enslaved labor.
Please move item 7172 to the inactive file.
I just want to know, what did you know about bills not being brought to the floor? There were two critical reparation bills, Senate Bill 1403 and Senate Bill 13.
Forgive me, because there's over 1,000. I'm not very good at the numeric, but
it's gonna. The analysis said it's only a couple $1 million to stand it up. And his response was, we want to do it in a different way. We don't want to do it through creating a whole new bureau. We want to do it through the UC system.
So this is Assemblyman Mr. Bryan. He's mad I brought up the reparations vote. So he's preventing me from speaking. And he's trying to block my access here.
Madam Speaker, I ask that we take up file item 71, SB 1331.
If you decide to start your family tree even without the DNA, 8 or 9 times out of 10, you're going to find your family.
A great number of African Americans can trace their lineage to the period of enslavement.
Lemert was developed by Walter H. Lemert, and in his designing this area, he actually had covenants to where they would not sell to black people.
I supported the bill all session. Then bring the bill.
Will you vote?
COBC, can you give them a grade 1 to 10?
This current crop, as of now, it's a negative.
Vote for the bill, Mr.
Bring the bill.
Will you vote for the bill?
Bring it up.
Will you vote for reparations?
Bring it
I
up.
would love it.
Bring it up.
Let's vote for reparations
Bring
together.
It up.
It's a spirit of anti-blackness, and we must call it out. And so I'm going to call out on August 31st, 2024, that the California Legislative Black Caucus, the majority of them, and the governor allowed the enemy to use them to try to keep us down and keep us as bottom-class citizens.
Just think that all the other members have at least about 10 years left, so we're not going anywhere.
I've heard it slightly changed, and some of the advocates who were part of the coalition last go around are now expressing concerns of whether or not they'll still be able to stand behind it if those changes are not corrected.
In so many years, it will hardly be no black folks left in California. We love y'all, we thank y'all, and we demanding reparations right now.
First of all, America, from the evidence that they gave us, you're guilty.
What happened on August 31st, 2024 was a betrayal.
We know that if we don't have our hand in this process as much as we possibly can, it can be corrupted from the outside. So in terms of our role isn't done until they're issuing the checks for our reparations.
The time for reparations is now.
Yeah.
It's now.